Big news has now arrived on Gunners. You want to know all the details, so follow me until the end of the video. But first, if you are in love with Arsenal, show your love and subscribe to THE channel now and turn on notifications. Here we post daily news and behind the scenes of the biggest club in THE Premier League, Arsenal. Thank you.
Paul, let's come to you first of all, because it's Arsenal. You heard Gary there, put 5 past the defending champions, 5 different scorers. Of course they need a striker, don't they?
Yeah, they still need a striker. I think if you look at it, when the game went 1-1, you're sitting there thinking, if Havertz would have scored that chance, you know, the game would have been out of sight at 2-0, in my opinion. So, yeah, obviously they went on and won the game quite convincingly in the end in the last 20, 30 minutes. But it could have easily been the other way. Do you know what I mean? They've got to take them chances. That was a big miss. Natural goal scorer scores that goal. You know, 1 in 2 scores it. I mean, I know Havertz goes and gets his goal, which was harder than that chance. They need a forward. I don't think, unless they get Ollie Watkins, I don't see the point in going and get one. I don't. I might as well wait to the end of the next season. If they go out now and buy Ollie Watkins for, say, 70, 80 million, 200 grand a week. So for the next 6 or 7 months, that's about £3.5 million, £3 million in wages. If Liverpool win their game in hand in a week's time, they're 9 points above them. It doesn't matter if they have, who's the best centre, even if they had Haaland, they wouldn't win the league. You know, 9 points is a lot of points with only how many games left. So for me, unless they get Watkins and it's for the future as well, I wouldn't panic, and then it opens up next season and then go from there, in my opinion.
The striker's not going to make the difference to them potentially winning the league, but maybe actually taking the pressure off Kai Havertz, though, you could say.
Yeah, I agree with Merce, though. I think it's January genuinely is a reactive market. They needed to be proactive. Everyone knows that Arsenal will need a centre forward for 2 or 3 years now. They haven't managed to find it. What makes people think they're going to find it in like a couple of hours left of the transfer window? I mean, it makes no sense. It makes no sense to go and find someone just for the sake of it, bringing a body in. If it's going to be Tell, then bring him in. No one else has taken Tell. Yeah, perhaps he didn't want to go to Tottenham because towards the bottom of the league. If I was the boy and I wanted to play in the Premier League, I would go to Tottenham because he's got more chance of playing. Even saying that, would he play ahead of Son on the left-hand side? Would he play ahead of Solanke down the middle? I don't think he would. So he's a development player anyway. So that's not going to make too much difference to him. To them to go and sign someone out to make a difference, it's impossible. It's impossible for them to do. Like Merce said, if they win their game in hand, 9 points, it's pretty much done. They've lost 1 game all season, Liverpool. I don't see them going and losing 3 or 4 games, and Arsenal would have to win all of their remaining. So keep your powder dry. You know, hopefully the scouts are out there getting busy and sign someone in the summer because you know you're going to need them moving forward.
I think Arsenal would have tried to have been clever and thought they'd have had a sniff on the Duran one. They'd have definitely had a whisper he was going to go there. So they go and bid for Ollie Watkins at 60, and then they give Villa the option. Do you take 60 for a 28, 29-year-old, or do you take the 60 for a 21-year-old? They chose to take the 60 for the 21-year-old. So that tells me about the 21-year-old. Because you keep the 21-year-old and you sell the 28-year-old. Yeah. They're the same price. Mm-hmm. And for me, I think Arsenal have gone like that, and Villa have chose to sell the 21-year-old and not the 28, 29-year-old. So I ain't sure Arsenal will go in again. I don't think they will go in again.
Not only that, we're running out of games, aren't we? You know, for them to win the Premier League. Do you think if he come in at the weekend, Merce, he goes straight into the side? Albeit he's injured anyway. Yeah. He's limped off at half-time against Wolves. It looked like a bad one. We know what it's like. It's right underneath the groin there. That could be 3 or 4 weeks, perhaps a month. You know, a month out of the season. If this man is the one you're going to bring in for all that money to change your fortunes, the season's over by then. Liverpool have already got the trophy above their heads.
And he can't play in the Champions League. He's played for Aston Villa.
But let's pick a player at random, just off the top of my head, per chance. Delap.
No-brainer.
What's Delap's price now, and what's Delap's price if Ipswich go down?
Ooh.
No-brainer for me. Delap in front of Watkins for me, for what they need at the moment, and ahead of Sesko, who they've been touting around for Arsenal as well. This guy now, I think, perhaps, to get him now, and I know Ipswich without Delap pretty much assigned to the Championship next year without him. So they would have to weigh up that, but I think 40 million would get him now. double their money from what they paid off City. 40 million and someone who would get developed under Mikel Arteta. He gives them something different. He is a box player. He can run from deep. He's strong. He holds the ball up. He brings others into play. I think he is an absolute no-brainer. Someone who knows the league. For me, that is, like you say, they get relegated. Someone comes and gets him. Perhaps I still think his value will be up there, Rob. I really do. I think he'd probably be around the same money, 40 million. But I think 40 million is nothing for Arsenal. And you're talking about a boy, what's he, 21, 22 years of age? He's got his future ahead of him.
The transfer call that changed Arsenal's deadline day, hope for a last-minute deal. On the final day of the summer transfer window, Arsenal made a last-minute signing that turned heads, and they're now hoping for a similar stroke of luck as the January window approaches its close. With the clock ticking down, Arsenal is keenly interested in adding a striker, even as the seconds slip away. Mikel Arteta has been candid about the need for reinforcements, yet after a recent victory over Manchester City, he expressed a somewhat cautious outlook when asked by Football.London about potential moves. "I don't know. My phone has been switched off regarding the transfer window. I've forbidden anyone from calling or texting me about it," he remarked. "My focus is solely on preparing the team for Wednesday. That's all I'm interested in right now." As the deadline looms, two names have frequently surfaced in discussions: Ollie Watkins and Mathis Tell. However, so far, there's been little indication that either player will don the Arsenal kit anytime soon. While time is running out, the spirit of hope remains alive, particularly when reflecting on last summer's deadline day. Earlier in the day and even into the afternoon, Arsenal appeared to be without plans to sign a striker. Speculations linking Raheem Sterling to the club were swiftly dismissed, with both Arsenal and Chelsea seemingly at an impasse regarding a transfer for the multi-award-winning player. Then, a phone call changed everything. Chelsea presented an offer that Arsenal deemed too good to ignore, leading to a rapid acceptance of the deal. Sterling arrived at the Sober Realty Training Centre just in time, as then Sporting Director Edu Gaspar worked tirelessly to finalise the agreement. This illustrates just how unpredictable the final hours of a transfer window can be, with clubs often clinging to the hope of unexpected surprises. Yet, as the minutes dwindle down, the reality is that the clock is ticking even faster this time around. Unlike the previous scenario where Arsenal was approached about Sterling, it seems they may need to take a more proactive approach to secure a new signing now. As anticipation builds, fans are left wondering if history can repeat itself. Will Arsenal pull off another thrilling last-minute transfer? The excitement is palpable, and the potential for a surprise signing remains just within reach.